let's move on to Amazon.
Move on to
This
Amazon.
one is now an underperformer relative to the rest of the Mag 7, if I understand correctly. Reports next week, to your point. It appears as though that Anthropic and Google Cloud are putting together a deal for cloud services. For what it's worth, as far as we know, Anthropic
Oh, by
is
the
a
way,
major...
something.
What?
Sorry, for
Yep.
interrupting you.
Oh, that's right.
Something that is worth pointing out was the outage that we had this week. Wow, Amazon Web
I'll get there.
Services is massive, bro.
Yes,
Massive.
I'll get there.
So I think that the outage was bullish instead of bearish. It
Yeah,
was like,
no.
wow,
Okay.
this is such a massive, business for Amazon. Go ahead.
No, you're totally right. Let me get through this really quickly because I think that people think that Anthropic partnering with Google takes away from the partnerships they have with AWS. As far as we know, they're still a massive client with AWS. And I think if you look at, I don't think it's a coincidence that that headline came out right after the outage did, because if you're Anthropic, you need to have access to all of those services. You need to diversify a little bit. It's kind of like when SVB happened and you saw a massive flight of deposits from the regionals into the money centers, because you can't, it's like, listen, I trust you, my regional bank, but I couldn't live with myself, or if you're a fiduciary that are dealing with client money, I can't have that risk. I just need to go where I know it's safe. I need to go to the Fortress balance sheet. In Anthropic's case, they're like, look, AWS, we love you, but if you have an outage, we need to keep our service going. So we need to find another suitor. And let me share this with you. It was actually from our Discord. This is a screenshot of everything that was out. So we don't have a lot of clarity on all of AWS's clients, but when you have an outage and this list is made public, you kind of get an idea. So obviously Amazon, Snapchat, Roblox, AWS, Alexa, Robinhood, Ring, Fortnite, Max, Prime Video, Venmo, Lyft, Chime, Epic, VR. This goes on a long time.
Impressive. A massive company. Massive company.
Hold on. We're almost at the bottom of this list. There you go. There you go. So, in my opinion, this is awesome for Google because Google's cloud business is only $54 billion run rate a year. If this is actually tens of billions, let's just say it's $10 billion deal with Anthropic, that is a 20% increase to Google's cloud business with the sign of a pen. That's huge. But for reference, Amazon's run rate is 125 billion. It's a lot. Amazon is suffering from the law of large numbers. AWS growing 20% is actually more impressive than Google services.
And correct me if I'm wrong. So AWS is larger than Azure?
Yeah, 100. So annual run rate from last year, AWS 125 billion, Google Cloud 54 billion, and Azure, if you care, 75 billion.
Wow. Yes. I mean, it's the largest player in the space. So yeah, I mean,
you know how we talk about NVIDIA, the law of large numbers? Like they can't have another revenue beat of 100% year over year. You know what I mean? AWS growing at 19% is more impressive than Google Cloud growing at 30%.
Because of the scale, of course, 100%. Yeah,
Yes.
100%. So the company reports, as we said, when is it reporting? It reports on the
Let me pull that up for you.
on the 30th. So in 7 days, they're gonna be like Thursday, the upcoming
Yes,
Thursday.
Thursday after the close,
Correct.
they're going to report with Apple and Coinbase and Reddit.
Correct. So
Handful of names.
yeah,
big day.
So the expected move done is, let me show you, 7.7%. So according to today's close, Amazon could be going either up or down, something like $17. This could be a very volatile report. Can there be like some sort of a front running into the print? It's possible. So the 5 DMA is starting to rise. Today the bulls were able to sustain price above the 20-day moving average in pink into the closing bell, $219. But look, so slightly above the current price of Amazon, we can see in blue the 100-day moving average at $222. The 50 is sitting at $225. So for me, in order to say that Amazon, from a technical standpoint, is innocent until proven guilty, I would need to see Amazon above $225. But mind you, bro, take a look at how And speaking of the 200-day moving average, which we were talking about in the case of Netflix, take a look at the red line. This is a 200 DMA. I mean, it's a magnet for buyers, bro. Pretty much every single time that Amazon pays a visit down to the 200 DMA, buyers emerge and buy the dip. So I would be a buyer before the print. Let me tell you, at this 200 DMA, $214, and yeah, I mean, for a bullish push to the upside to occur into the upcoming earnings report, the bulls need to recapture $225. So the short looks very choppy and doesn't say much, and we have an expected move of $17 next week coming up. So and the stock, by the way, is how of the highs. Let me see how it is trading 9% off its most recent all-time highs.
Yeah.
So maybe the bar is not that high. And we've reviewed Amazon before then, and we know that from a historical standpoint, this stock is trading at very low multiples
So
relative to relative to its history. So this is going to be a very interesting report. Yeah.
I'm going to give Stephanie Link some credit. She cited the statistic maybe on Monday. Amazon right now is trading at 13 times EBITDA. I think she said the average, long run average, was 18 times. So we're 5 turns below the median EBITDA. So this stock is cheap. And I know we just talked about Netflix and you referenced it too. It's like they're the same company. This is a 2-year weekly. 50-day weekly moving average is $214. The only time it's gone below there in the last 2 years for Amazon was the yen explosion in
So
August.
that 50-week moving average is coinciding
tantrum.
with the 200 DMA. Take a look at what an important level then.
Yep. So, in other words, again, if you're betting against Amazon, you're really betting that there's going to be another exogenous shock, or you're betting that for whatever reason, AWS, instead of growing at 18 to 20, is going to grow at 15. That would be a material change, but I wouldn't place money on that. I'm with you. I've been putting a little bit of money to work in this name over the past couple of weeks. I did it when it successfully regained the 150-day simple moving average. It was right after the outage, because to your point, people saw the outage, and instead of selling it, they realized just how awesome
That was my case.
the AWS business
That
is.
was my case. Wow, this segment of the business of Amazon is massive. I didn't realize that, to be honest with you. So it's going to be a very interesting report coming up. And if we happen to see for any reason, and I'm not saying that is going to be the case, if we happen to see for any reason in the upcoming days and before the earnings report comes out, another visit down to that 200 DMA, I am likely a buyer. $214, $215.